welcome to another Clone Wars live stream. Yeah, we'll be discussing season 7 today. Um, yeah, so yeah, that's exciting. Well, oh, hello, Andrew. Always nice to see you. Let's put some music on so we're not. Let's see. Let's do. We'll do that, I guess. Sure. All right. Now, let's get to Clone Wars Season 7. So, this season's pretty easy and all too short a season. Yeah. This season's pretty easy to talk about. It's only got 3 arcs of 4 episodes each, so it's a total of 12. So first up is the Bad Batch arc, which so we're introduced to Clone Force 99, named after the clone in season 3, the first 2 episodes. Let's see. Oh, Clone Cadets and ARC Troopers, I believe. Yeah, he's the deformed one that's like doing janitor service on Kamino. And he dies at the end of ARC Troopers, so I guess this the Bad Batch are named after him. So, and in this episode, or in this story, we're on Anaxis, and the Republic is losing all their battlefronts on Anaxis, and they find out that the Separatists are using some algorithm, and they're suspecting that it's battle plans that Rex had drawn up, so they elect to send a group in to figure that out. So Rex goes with the Bad Batch and Cody and a couple of other clones, and they discover that Echo is alive, and that's how they're getting the battle plans. And they find out that Echo signal is coming from the planet Skako Minor, which is the planet of Wat Tambor, the Skakoans. You know, the Wat Tambor is the guy. He's one of the Separatist leaders. He's the guy that like twists his dial in Attack of the Clones. You know, it's like help you can't. No, what does he say? He says the Techno Union is at your disposal. Count. There we go. It wasn't that great a story arc. A bit like a Disney Wars version of the A-Team. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But as I will eventually get to, I think we should have had a squad of Republic Commandos instead of the Bad Batch. I think that would have been cooler. Republic Commandos already exist in the Clone Wars. I don't see why we couldn't have used a squad. It doesn't have to be Delta Squad. It could be a brand new squad. But that's the thing that But anyways, they go to Skako Minor. They rescue Echo. He's all connected to machines and stuff like that. He's barely alive. So they unplug him and all that. Then they flee. And then they go back to Anaxis and they trick the Separatists and they win. They retake Anaxis. They blow up the ship with Admiral Trench, the spider guy. The Spider Admiral. And that's kind of the end of that arc. So a few things that I took note for this arc is I think it's the first episode when you have the Bad Batch, that they have the droid poppers, which are basically they throw them to decommission the droids. It doesn't explode. It's like a little electrical storm to take them out. They were throwing those, and then Crosshair was shooting them. And at least to my knowledge, you don't need to shoot them. Just throw them and then wait the timer and then that. It's a nitpick, but I was just like, why are they doing that? Um, yeah, it should be Republic Commandos. I think that would be cooler, more impressive. Um, and yeah, Wrecker was kind of annoying. Um, so that's kind of it. That's kind of what I thought. Like, yeah, I mean it's cool to go to Skako Minor, a planet we've never been to. That's cool, but you know, yeah. And then the next arc is one of the worst arcs in the Clone Wars. I don't know why it's 4 episodes because, quite frankly, it isn't that enjoyable. If this was a 1 episode, kind of one off, whatever, it'd be, that'd be one thing. But no, we have to have 4 episodes. And in my opinion, I don't think this arc did a whole lot. And, it's of course the Martez sisters arc or whatever you want to call it. So Ahsoka is, she's left the Jedi Order. She's kind of trying to make ends meet. She crashes a speeder bike on this landing platform that just so happens to be a mechanic shop, whatever. And that's the Martez sisters are there. The one I call them Dumb and Dumber. I don't remember their names. I don't really care. Anyways, now you might say which one's dumb and which one's dumber. The one with the shaved half her head or whatever. She's kind of bald. Yeah, she's dumb. And then the one with like the curly hair on the top, she's dumber. The one that wants to be a pilot or whatever, and that, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So Ahsoka's fixing her speeder bike, and yeah, turns out that the Martez sisters, at least one of them, is doing some shady stuff or whatever, and that gets them into trouble. So they, they leave Coruscant, and yeah, so they go to the Obadiah, where the Pike Syndicate is, and yeah, they run spice for the Pikes, because but then anyways, the Pikes. Let's see, the Pikes. Yeah. So Dumber doesn't want to run spice for the Pikes, so she dumps the load, and that gets him in deep trouble because obviously the Pikes aren't going to be happy about that. And long story short, it ends. They end up getting imprisoned by the Pikes, and so the 3rd episode of the arc, they are in prison. They begin the episode in prison. Ahsoka breaks out and has a little wander through the city or whatever. She sees Bo-Katan, and that's purely to set up the Siege of Mandalore. And then she gets captured again. So that episode is kind of a waste of time. So then the last episode, they all break out and they get away from the Pikes, and yeah, it's dumb. It's not a very good episode, or not a very good batch of episodes. So yeah, and then the last arc is the best arc of season 7, and that is the Siege of Mandalore. Yeah, so we begin with Obi-Wan and Anakin on Yarvana, something like that. It's they're doing a battle. It's kind of irrelevant. So, they get called back to the ship by Admiral Yularen, and Ahsoka's calling him, and yeah, they found Maul. So they have a meeting with Ahsoka and Bo-Katan, and yeah, they basically Obi-Wan's gonna ask the council what to do, and Anakin is kind of reconnecting with Ahsoka, showing him a group of the 501st had painted their helmets orange and with her white markings, and he gives Ahsoka her lightsabers back, but they're blue for some reason, which is, I don't know, I don't understand that. Doesn't make sense to me, but anyways. And then Obi-Wan comes rushing back in. Oh no, the Chancellor's been kidnapped, and the Coruscant's under attack, so they're off to rush. And Ahsoka's like, hey, what about Mandalore? And Anakin splits the 501st, promotes Captain Rex to Commander Rex, and they go off to Mandalore, and the rest of the Force goes to Coruscant to help with that. So they basically arrive at Mandalore, and it's a fairly easy attack. They make planet fall, and and then they hunt for Maul. And then Ahsoka manages to find Maul, and he's like, oh, why are you here? I want Obi-Wan. And also he wants Anakin, because he had a vision or a dream that Anakin is the key to Darth Sidious' plan, and he wants to kill Anakin to remove Anakin from Palpatine's toolbox, let's say. So Maul and Ahsoka, they duel, and Ahsoka bests Maul, and he's captured. He's put in this this holding container thing made for Force users, because Mandalorians and Jedi, they have a history of fighting each other. And they load him on a shuttle and take him up to the Venator, and they're going to go to Coruscant. But whilst in hyperspace, Order 66 goes out, so all that chaos breaks loose, and so Ahsoka escapes the initial contact with the clones, and she goes and busts Maul out to provide a distraction and all that stuff. And Rex tells Ahsoka to look up fives, so she does, and learns the inhibitor chips and all that. So she isolates Captain Rex and takes the inhibitor chip out. Once that's out, he quits trying to kill Ahsoka, and the two try and escape as Maul, in his, causing chaos, damaged the hyperdrive, so the ship comes out of hyperspace, and it's going to crash on a moon. So, and then after that, so everybody is going to where the shuttles are, so they can leave. And obviously there's a large force of clones waiting there. And so Maul manages to escape in a shuttle. And then Ahsoka and Rex, they barely make it to a Y-wing bomber, and they leave, and the Venator crashes on the moon. And then Rex and Ahsoka bury the clones. Ahsoka leaves her lightsaber behind, and they leave. And then we cut to a scene where it's all snowy, and the Empire has arrived. So you see stormtroopers, snow troopers, probe droids, and you see Darth Vader as he walks to where Ahsoka dropped her lightsaber. He picks it up, activates it, and turns it off, and then leaves. And that's where the show ends. So I like the Siege of Mandalore arc. It's got a few little minor things, and obviously it does differ from the 2003 Clone Wars, but again, it's different continuities at this point, so that's to be expected. But I like the animation for season 7. It's great. And the duel The duels are really, really good. They're probably the best of Clone Wars. So, all right, let's get to the comments. I've got several. So, all right, short season. Yep. Wasn't that great a story arc? Referring to the Bad Batch, a bit like Disney Wars version of the A-Team. Hello, Type Myths. What do you think of Darth Vitiate? I don't know much about Darth Vitiate. But I believe isn't he the emperor that lives like 1,000 years or whatever in the Old Republic era, right? Right? Isn't he? I think so. If that's Darth Vitiate, I think it is. But again, like I could be wrong. Cool. I want to know more. So, yeah. It took the inclusion of Omega into the squad to make the Bad Batch, but Disney couldn't match the ethnicity with Tamara Morrison. You don't get many blonde Maoris. Yeah. I don't know why Omega's blonde. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Pike Syndicate. Yep. They should have left the story arc unchanged. The original wasn't that bad. Referring to the Martez sisters arc, I agree. Because originally, the Martez sisters didn't exist. It was a guy. So, yeah, I agree. I don't know why it was changed. So, doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Disney should have made the Siege of Mandalore into a movie. The others were kind of meh. Yeah. Yeah. It does feel a little more cinematic than the rest of the show, and yeah, I think it would have. If that would have been a movie, that actually makes sense to be a movie, unlike the Clone Wars movie, where they're kind of just a few episodes that aren't really related to each other, mashed together. But hey, whatever. But yeah, I agree. I think it would be a cool movie. But yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's the Clone Wars. Very interesting ride. It's got its moments. But it's not a perfect show. It's got its flaws, but it's also got some pretty good Star Wars moments. But I do wish that they would have stuck with the expanded universe more, like where it contradicts things. I wish they wouldn't have contradicted so many things. So that's a shame. But yeah, so all right. Well, that's about it for Clone Wars Season 7. The next live stream we will be doing will be we'll be ranking on a tier list the episodes of the Clone Wars. So one more Clone Wars stream, and then we'll move on to something else. So yeah, pretty interesting. So yeah, you can look forward to that. I uploaded a video on the Weequay alien species today, so you can watch that after the stream. Yeah. There's also the Toys of the Phantom Menace video. If you haven't seen that, I uploaded that last week. My review of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the Django Fett game. So, yeah, you can check those out. It's a shame they canceled TCW in favor of Rebels. I agree. Rebels is an inferior show to TCW. Rebels has a few cool moments, but overall, it doesn't hold up to TCW. Even though I'm not as fond of TCW as I was. but I still think TCW is better than Rebels. So, yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. So, yeah, and some of those canceled Clone Wars arcs were they sound pretty cool. Let's see, off the top of my head, well, there is the Crystal Crisis on Utapau, which you can actually watch the rough cuts of on the Blu-ray version of the season 6. Yeah, they're on there. You can watch all 4 episodes. I actually like that arc. It's cool. It actually has General Grievous being menacing. He kills a Jedi. We explore Utapau. We get to see all that stuff. I thought it was awesome. To me, why couldn't they have included that arc in season 7? Because all they would need to do is just do the final animation of it. It wouldn't be as much work, as they wouldn't have to re-record the lines and stuff like that. The music might not have been final, but yeah, why not? Yeah. And then another arc that I think they should have put in season 7 is Son of Dathomir, where basically it's how Darth Maul escapes from Darth Sidious's clutches. Yeah, and now they made that a comic book, so you can at least you can see the story. It's kind of cool. It's got General Grievous. It's got Count Dooku in it, and I think Maul fights both of them. I'd have to go back and relook at the story, but yeah, it's kind of neat. We find out that Mother Talzin is Darth Maul's mom in that. So yeah, to me, and then that way season 7 would have been 5 arcs, 20 episodes, and it would have been a good send off. Because to me, those 2 arcs, are because Crystal Crisis, it's a cool story, it's fun, but also we get a little bit more of Obi-Wan and Anakin hanging out with each other and that, and and then we get General Grievous being threatening and actually somewhat of a threat, killing Jedi. He doesn't do that very often, unfortunately. The Dark Disciple arc would have been good. At least we got the Neville as it. Yep. Yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Quite a bit. Yeah. Well, but that would have been 8 episodes. So that would have been harder to do. But yeah. There's a few other ones. There was I don't know if it was an arc, but at least it was an episode where Ahsoka had to go below the Jedi Temple where there's a Sith shrine or something, and stop some evil or something like that. That would have been interesting. I think there was an episode where we would have went back in time and saw Plo Koon go to get Ahsoka as a little Force child. It would have been maybe kind of interesting. I don't know. Yeah, there was a Yuuzhan Vong arc, which would have been interesting to see. But yeah. All right. Well, that's yeah. Yeah. It is a shame. And then they canceled it for Rebels. And then they brought it back just for 12 episodes when they could have brought it back for a couple seasons. And probably should have done that, because I think I'd rather have that than Bad Batch. Because I don't know. I enjoyed the first season of Bad Batch for the most part, but I don't know. As it went on, I enjoyed it less. So many lost opportunities. Yeah. But Disney is they're the king of lost opportunities when it comes to Star Wars. So, it's par for the course, unfortunately. But yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, I think, yeah. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot of TV shows that, in terms of Star Wars, that we could go over like this. I mean, we could do Rebels, but I don't want to. Um, I mean, we could do the Ewoks animated show and the droids, but I don't want to watch those again. But if people really want to talk about them in a live stream like this, I guess we could. Or if we want to do the 2003 Clone Wars, although that's probably going to be maybe a live stream or two. I don't know. Let me know. I'm open to some suggestions, but yeah, because it is fun to discuss Star Wars with other fans. That's fun. So, but yeah, um, yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this year, as later on, once I get to the New Jedi Order, I will be doing live streams on the New Jedi Order. So yeah, that'll be exciting. We'll be talking about some Star Wars books on the live stream. I think that'll be fun. I never watched the 2003. Oh, you should watch it, Andrew. It's really good. It's really good. General Grievous is really good in it. He's actually threatening, and yeah, he's a huge threat. I mean, you've got Dirge, an awesome force. Yeah. I mean, you've got ARC troopers being epic. Yeah. You got Obi-Wan and Anakin being Obi-Wan and Anakin, going on an adventure and stuff like that. You see Anakin get knighted. I don't know. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, go watch it. It's really good. It is a different animation style. It's a 2D. It's made by Genndy Tartakovsky. It's similar in animation style to a show like Samurai Jack, if you've heard of that. But yeah, I would say give it a watch. Yeah, you could watch the whole lot of it in like 2.5 hours. You just go to YouTube and type in Clone Wars 2003, and you can watch it on there. It's on YouTube, parts 1 and 2. Or if you have Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus as well. So I would suggest, yeah. But if you don't have Disney Plus, or you do not want to support Disney, it's understandable. You could just go to YouTube and type it in. So yeah, it's really good, really worth the watch. Saj Ventress is really good. Her and Anakin duel on Yavin 4. You should watch it. It's really good. I'll give it a go. All right. And once you've watched it, let me know what you thought of it. I'd love to know that. So maybe, you know what? Maybe we will do a live stream talking about the 2003 Clone Wars. I have been wanting to watch it again. So let's do that. Let's do that. Maybe after the live stream, after we do the tier list of the Clone Wars episodes, we will do a stream on 2003 Clone Wars. I like that idea. Ooh. So, yeah. That's a good idea. All right. Well, I think that's it for TCW for today. It was fun to talk, TCW. Yeah, it's a pleasure as always. I might not feel the same way I used to about it, but it's still got some good stuff in it. That's an idea. 2003. Yep. Yeah. Maybe we'll do two. One live stream on part one and the other on part two. We'll see. I'll decide. But yeah, I think that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, until then, thank you for everyone that watched and commented. Thank you to Andrew, as always, and Type Myths for commenting. Yeah. And yeah, so we will see you next time, where we will do the tier list. I'll definitely be via well, you already have access to YouTube, so yeah, might as well. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to that'll be really exciting. So that'll be good. All right. Well, until the next stream, thanks for watching and commenting. So yeah. Goodbye.